So, I never really cared much for birthdays. Not mine, not anyone else's. It's not like I had many friends growing up, so the idea of throwing a party just to be reminded of that never appealed to me. My parents always made an effort, of course, but by the time I turned 15, I stopped pretending to care. This year was no different. My mom was busy with work, and my dad had left town for a business trip. That left just me and my younger brother, Nathan. He was 10 and still got excited about birthdays, probably because he hadn't figured out yet that they don't really mean anything. My mom asked if I could watch him for the night since she'd be home late, and I agreed. I wasn't planning to do anything special anyway. Around 7, Nathan started getting ready for bed, and I settled into the couch with my laptop. I was watching some random horror videos when the house phone rang. It startled me a little because no one ever called the house phone anymore, everyone just used their cell phones. I let it ring a few times before answering. Hello. Silence. Just the sound of faint breathing. I thought maybe it was a wrong number, so I hung up and went back to my laptop. A few minutes later, the phone rang again. Same number. I sighed, picking it up again. Hello. This time, there was a voice. Deep, distorted.
Happy birthday.
I frowned. Who is this? Click. They hung up. I tried to shake it off. Maybe it was a prank, maybe some stupid autodialer. But something about that voice stuck with me. At around 8, I went to check on Nathan. He was already asleep, curled up under his blanket. I turned off his nightlight and stepped out of the room. That's when I heard it. A knock at the front door. Not a normal knock. Slow, deliberate. Like whoever was on the other side wanted me to hear every single tap. I froze for a second, then forced myself to move toward the door. I looked through the peephole. Nothing. The porch was empty. Maybe a package delivery. I opened the door just a crack, nothing was there. But as I stepped back inside, the house phone rang again. My stomach tightened. I grabbed the phone and answered, trying to sound annoyed instead of nervous. Who is this? Silence. Then, that same distorted voice.
You shouldn't have opened the door.
My breath caught in my throat. I felt a cold chill run down my spine. I turned, staring at the door I had just closed. My hand was still gripping the phone when the doorknob rattled. Someone was out there. I didn't think, I just ran to Nathan's room and locked the door behind me. My heart was pounding so hard I could barely hear anything else. I grabbed my cell phone and dialed my mom, but the call wouldn't go through. No signal. I tried the house phone again, but as soon as I picked it up, I heard breathing on the other end. Heavy, uneven. Then, the voice whispered.
I can see you.
I dropped the phone. I didn't even realize I was shaking until I saw my hands. Nathan stirred in his sleep. I wanted to wake him up, to tell him to be quiet, but before I could, I heard something else. A soft creak. The sound of a footstep in the hallway. Someone was inside the house. I reached for anything I could use as a weapon, a lamp, a baseball bat Nathan had lying around. My heart was racing as I pressed my ear against the door, listening. The footsteps were slow, deliberate, moving toward Nathan's room. Then they stopped. Right outside the door. For a second, everything was silent. Then, bang! The door shook with each hit. Nathan woke up with a start, eyes wide with fear. What's happening? He whispered. I clamped a hand over his mouth, shaking my head. The pounding on the door continued, each hit making my chest tighten with panic. Then, just as suddenly as it started, it stopped. Silence. Nathan was trembling, clutching onto my arm. I held my breath, listening. Then, the sound of slow footsteps. Moving away. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. We just sat there in the dark, waiting. Minutes passed, but it felt like hours. Then the phone rang again. I jumped. Nathan whimpered softly, and I reached for the house phone with a shaking hand. I didn't say anything this time. But the voice on the other end did.
See you next year.
Click. That was the last time the phone rang that night. When my mom got home, I told her everything, but she brushed it off as a prank. The police didn't find anything unusual, no signs of forced entry, no strange fingerprints. Nothing. But I know what I heard. And every year, on my birthday, I still wonder, will they call again?